Have you ever wanted to fuse the slick, beautiful UIs of Flutter with the raw 3D power of Unity? Well, today we're doing exactly that. We're going to walk through the entire roadmap, from combining the two all the way to launching on the Apple App Store. Let's dive in.
So you've probably been there, right? As a developer, you hit this wall. You want those gorgeous, buttery smooth user interfaces that Flutter is just fantastic at, but your project also needs that immersive 3D world, or maybe some AR that Unity totally nails. It feels like you have to pick a side, but what if you didn't have to?
And this is where Flutter and Unity come together as this incredible power couple. They're built on totally different philosophies. Flutter's reactive style is super efficient. It only redraws what actually changes, which is perfect for your app's main UI. Unity, on the other hand, is frame-based. It's redrawing everything all the time, which is exactly what you need for smooth 3D graphics and physics. The real magic is letting each one do what it does best. So here's the journey we're going to take. We'll start with why this is such a powerful combo. Then we'll get into the technical nitty-gritty of how to build that communication bridge. After that, it's all about conquering the Apple ecosystem, creating your build, making your storefront look amazing, and finally, submitting for review. Okay, first things first. Let's tackle that big question. Why would you even go through all this trouble? Well, it's all about unlocking this unique hybrid advantage that can make your app really stand out from the crowd.
The key concept here has a name: Unity as a Library, or UAL for short. Now, you're not just linking two separate apps. You are literally embedding the entire Unity engine inside your Flutter application. Think of it like this. Flutter is your sleek, modern dashboard. It handles all the buttons, menus, and user input. Unity is the high-performance V8 engine under the hood that you only fire up when you need that intense 3D or AR power.
All right, now for what is maybe the most crucial technical part, building that bridge. How in the world do we get Flutter's Dart code and Unity's C# code to actually talk to each other without everything falling apart?
The process is actually surprisingly methodical. First, you export Unity as a native iOS framework. Then you pop over to Xcode and embed that framework into your Flutter project. But the real secret sauce is the method channel. Think of it as a dedicated hotline between the two. Flutter uses it to send messages, and a C# script in Unity is just sitting there, listening. Here's a pro tip. When you need to send complex data, wrap it up in JSON. It's like a universal translator that keeps the conversation clean. But just be careful. Sending huge chunks of data back and forth can slow things down, so only send what you absolutely need to.
Okay, with our technical bridge built, we now enter let's say, a different kind of world. Apple's walled garden. Before you can ship any code, you need to get all the right keys to the kingdom. Apple's entire security system is built on this cryptographic chain of trust, and you have to follow the steps in this exact order, no skipping ahead. It all starts with enrolling in the developer program. Then, you create a distribution certificate. That's basically your digital passport that proves who you are. Next, you register a unique app ID for your app. And finally, the provisioning profile wraps it all together, telling Apple that you, the trusted developer, have permission to release this specific app.
So what exactly is this provisioning profile? It sounds super technical, right? But honestly, just think of it as the official permission slip for your app. It's this little digital file that connects your developer ID to your app's ID, and it gives your app the authorization to be installed on real devices and to use special services. Without it, your app is basically a stranger that's not allowed into Apple's house.
And yeah, this says it perfectly. The provisioning profile is the cryptographic glue. It's the thing that binds your identity, your app, and its permissions into one secure, trusted package. It's really the linchpin of this whole system.
All right, the paperwork is done. Phew. Now for the really satisfying part, forging the actual app file that's going to land on the App Store.
Getting from your source code to a file you can actually distribute is, believe it or not, super straightforward. First, you bump the version number in your pubspec.yaml file. You have to do this for every update. Then, you just open up your terminal and run one simple command, flutter build ipay. And that's it. Flutter handles all the heavy lifting, and you'll find that finished ipay file waiting for you in your project's build folder.
Now that one little command does something pretty incredible behind the scenes. It's not just zipping up your files, it's triggering what's called ahead of time, or AOT, compilation. See, when you're debugging, Flutter uses just-in-time compilation, so you can see changes fast. But for a release, AOT converts all of your Dart code directly into hyper-optimized native machine code. That is the secret to why production Flutter apps feel so fast and responsive on iPhones.
So you've got your compiled app. Awesome. But you are not done. Not even close. Now you have to take off your developer hat and put on your marketing hat. It's time to master your App Store storefront because that first impression is everything.
First up, let's talk screenshots. And I've got a huge time saver for you right here. You do not need to make screenshots for every single iPhone size. Just make a set for the 6.9-inch display, and Apple will automatically scale it down for most of the other devices. You nail that one size, and you are pretty much golden.
Now, for iPads, the rule is a little different. If your app supports the iPad, you must provide at least one set of iPad-specific screenshots. You can't just let the iPhone ones get stretched out. The 13-inch iPad Pro is the new standard, so make sure you have those ready to go. Okay, listen up because these are the rules that will save you from a rejection email. Screenshots have to be PNG or JPG, no transparency, RGB color space, and this is the big one. They have to show your actual app, no fancy marketing mockups or device frames around your UI. And please, keep them updated when you redesign your app. This stuff matters.
And speaking of things that matter, this next step is absolutely non-negotiable. The Privacy Manifest. This is basically a file where you have to declare every single piece of data your app collects or that any third-party tools you use collect. You have to be totally transparent about what you're collecting and why. If you get this wrong, your submission is pretty much dead in the water.
Okay, the storefront is polished, your privacy is declared, it's time. We have reached the final boss, submitting your app for review.
But before we hit that submit button, let me ask you a quick question. What do you think is the #1 reason apps get rejected by Apple? Is it bugs? Is it crashes? Is it poor performance? What do you think?
The answer actually surprises a lot of people. It's almost never about the bugs. Most rejections happen because of simple, preventable stuff, like developers just misunderstanding the guidelines. It's usually not your code that's failing, it's the incomplete description, a broken link to a demo account, or outdated screenshots.
So before you submit, please go through this checklist meticulously. Does the reviewer have a demo account that actually works? Is your privacy policy URL a live working link? Is all your metadata accurate? Are your screenshots current? These small details are often the final gatekeeper standing between you and getting on the App Store.
And there you have it. That's the full roadmap. From bridging two incredibly powerful frameworks to navigating the final hurdles of the App Store, you now have the blueprint. You've unlocked the ability to create experiences that just weren't possible before. So the only question left is, what incredible experience are you going to create next?